I have talked quite a bit about Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows on this channel, and it's actually been happening quite more often lately because the news are beginning to circulate much more often, and they're just becoming far more outrageous as the time progresses up until March 20th when the game releases. Now, yesterday I talked about the YouTuber Shohei Kondo, who had his YouTube video about Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay removed because of hate speech, and now today the video seems to be back online, so you can watch it and you can react to it, you can see what he was talking about. You can also, if you haven't already, see it on his X channel. And while that's going on and more footage is coming out, just showcasing exactly how buggy this game truly is and still is with less than 2 months away from its release, we have now received a news article that has been circulating around the internet for the past several hours from Eurogamer, who reported about a very, I would say, troubling news for Ubisoft, especially coming out right before the game releases. This is the article. It says Ubisoft announces studio closure as it lays off 185 staff. Leamington closed as targeted restructuring hit other teams. Now, 185 staff is the overall number of people that are targeted. The Leamington office, I think, is around 50. So let's dive into this article because it's truly amazing, astonishing, abhorrent, whatever you want to call it. It's just very telling, if I can say so myself. Ubisoft is set to close its UK studio based in Leamington as it sheds 185 jobs across the business. A small number of Leamington staff will be retained under remote contracts. Additionally, Ubisoft offices in Düsseldorf, formerly Blue Byte, Stockholm, and the Newcastle-based Ubisoft Reflections will be downsized. And we have a quote from an Ubisoft spokesperson. As part of our ongoing efforts to prioritize projects and reduce costs to ensure long-term stability at Ubisoft, we have announced targeted restructurings at Ubisoft Düsseldorf, Ubisoft Stockholm, and Ubisoft Reflection, and the permanent closure of Ubisoft Leamington site. This is from a Ubisoft spokesperson, as I mentioned, said in a statement to Eurogamer. Now, I'm not exactly a fan of Eurogamer, as you know. They're the ones who blew up Jeff Grubb's stolen information regarding the departure of Corinne Bush, stealing the information from Smash JT and Grumps, who broke the story first, and they targeted and just tagged Jeff Grubb as the source. But again, a news article is a news article, and this is news that has been circling around. We continue. Unfortunately, this should impact 185 employees overall. We are deeply grateful for their contributions and are committed to supporting them through this transition. Yeah, what transition? To unemployment? What exactly are you gonna support them with? Severance checks? Are you going to get them new jobs somewhere else? Are you going to assist them in finding new jobs? These are 185 people at the beginning of the year. This is not something small. The Leamington office, as described in the article, is being noticed and known for its work on Guitar Hero and Call of Duty franchises. That's before Ubisoft acquired the company in 2017. As for the Ubisoft Düsseldorf, it is best known for developing Anno and the Settlers. Ubisoft Stockholm worked for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora with Massive Entertainment, and Ubisoft Reflection, which is apparently a veteran team originally founded in 1984 and acquired by Ubisoft in 2006. They have been working with Leamington, supported AAA game development. That would mean that they were also in some sort of support of Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws and other triple and quadruple A titles. The article then explains Ubisoft's latest layoffs come as the company continues to try and cut costs after a string of disappointing game launches, including the failure of big budget bet Star Wars Outlaws, which sold around 1 or 2 million copies overall, the Shadow of Life series shooter X-Defined, and repeated delays to Assassin's Creed Shadows amidst wider concern of the firm's future. And if you're unaware, the firm's future in this case is basically the potential buyout, closure, or selling of their assets, because 2024 was one of the worst years of Ubisoft. Their stocks dropped immensely. They're the lowest in over a decade, and it's not seems to be going upwards. Is getting actually worse and worse and worse with the closing of the gap between today and the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft has repeatedly reduced its headcount since 2022 when it deployed 20,279 people. By the end of September 2024, Ubisoft employed 18,666 employees. That's almost 2,000 down, and it is continuing. Earlier this month, Ubisoft said it was taking decisive steps to reshape the company in order to review and pursue various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options to extract the best value for stakeholders. This sentence in simple corporate language means that they want to present better profit to cost numbers. And when you have less people to have in the company, that means that you have less costs, and that would immediately raise some of the numbers. Even if your profits are diminished, having less employees and having to pay less and less salaries means that you're going to have probably better numbers by the end of the year or by the end of the quarter. And that would mean the stakeholders who say, okay, the company is kind of taking the steps to make more money or to not lose as much money. They don't care about the human side of things. They don't care if they have 200 to 2,000 employees. They only care about how the money is circulating. And I'm going to actually prove it to you. I'm going to pull out a calculator here. You probably won't see it, but let's say you have these 185 employees. Let's say that on average they earn 2,500 per month. This is the average. We're just gonna go by the average, which times 185 employees, that would mean they have $462,500 in salary costs per month. Imagine per quarter, imagine per year, having reduced that cost, and that's only by these 185 employees. Imagine more. Imagine if the salaries are bigger. That means that the cost reduction is much bigger. That means that by every quarter they're reducing at least 1.5 to potentially $2 million, and they're saving. That's cost efficient business strategy. It doesn't matter that people are being laid off. It doesn't matter that a lot of people are without jobs and they'll have to look desperately for jobs, possibly at a lower pay, possibly at indie studios, possibly in another sphere. That is not something that they care about. But this is what it's expected from every company. They simply care about the money. They will always care about the money. No matter anything that you claim to be, the money will always be the most important thing. That's how DEI and the woke agenda actually made roots. They poured huge amounts of money to various companies, through various companies, by just forcing agendas, just by paying for some stuff, and repeatedly continuing to put out games, movies, TV series that didn't make profits, but because the money insertions were so big, they could afford to push that narrative. But now that the money well is drying off, you see a very, very big change and a very big shift in all the narratives. You can see it everywhere. Reports previously suggested Ubisoft was keen to take the company private via investment from Chinese giant Tencent, although company boss Yves Guillemot, wanting to retain overall control, has allegedly proven a sticking point. All eyes now turn to the upcoming launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows on 20th of March, whose success has never seemed more vital. And yeah, it is vital, because this is the make it or break it. If Assassin's Creed Shadows doesn't bring in the big money, and I mean the big money, but I mean that making at least 2 times the budget that for this game, that would mean that this company has essentially failed. And we have less than 2 months left until Assassin's Creed Shadows is out. And apart from what I just mentioned, to go and watch Shohei Kondo's extensive video on exactly how this game is performing currently, apart from the live streams that we saw and the failure to pet the dog and all the other stuff that has been circulating around X, I will just show you something else that you might have not seen and which was circulating today. Take a look at this. This is... yeah, like, I mean, triple A, quadruple A experience from a game that is less than 2 months away, which had extensive delays in order to fix any potential bug. It doesn't help that the Assassin's Creed Shadows news page has been basically just going absolutely wild. This is a page that I've actually seen a lot, and the user that is supporting this page has actually blocked me. There, the user is blocking me, and I cannot see anything past some public posts that they decide to just post. But they're being pretty selective on some stuff. Like, if you see this, yeah, you would think this is a great game, and this does look good. This also looks nice, although as Shohei Kondo mentioned, the sakura trees were a bit too much because they were everywhere. And yeah, you might think that this game has cleared all the bugs. It hasn't, not even by a long shot. This is something that they are still struggling. Let me just play this again. Yeah, this is something from a current stream, by the way. This is not something old. This is from a current stream. And on that note, I just want to point something out, because I don't think that is being said enough. This is not like, these videos are not us YouTubers and gamers and the far right or the grifters or whatever you want to call people like me. This is not us just taking a piss at Assassin's Creed Shadows or just kicking them while they're down or just excessively just bashing them. This is us taking a stance against an insult that is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let me just remind you that this is the studio that wanted to basically rewrite Japanese history, hired fake historians who quoted themselves in the Wikipedia articles to just make it seem believable, had stolen banners from a reenactment group, claiming that Yasuke is a confirmed samurai, which he's not, allegedly changed the original protagonist who was Japanese instead of Yasuke, has pushed the game first for February 14th and now on to March 20th, which is the date of a horrible modern day terrorist attack in Japan, the Tokyo sarin gas incident. This is the same game that featured Chinese subtitles in a Japanese exclusive trailer. It's the same studio that bashed people and just tried to dismiss every single complaint that they had, that also had a broken Torii Gate from a World War II memorial site that was as a toy, a collectible toy to have. All of these things, along with the mixing of infrastructure, of architectural sites, of simple things in the game, all while claiming that they're historically accurate and they have taken great lengths to be as historically accurate as possible, is just one of the many things that they have fucked up with this game. And they have did so either intentionally or unintentionally, which in both cases would be bad. Either they're stupid or they're evil. There is no middle ground in this case. And every video that we do about Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows and just highlighting all the stupid things that they're showing us and trying to rub sand in our eyes is just us being vigilant and showing everyone what is actually the reality. And everyone has the absolute freedom to decide whether or not they're gonna buy and play the game. If they do, that's their absolute prerogative and freedom. May they enjoy the game. If they don't, fine, the same thing. But I'll tell you one thing. None of this would have been such an issue if Ubisoft hasn't came out and just being so disrespectful to fans. First of all, I'm sure that people would not have been so vigilant to spot everything, would have been a little bit more forgiving to Ubisoft, and would probably be a lot more people that would consider enjoying the game upon its release. I know it sounds stupid, but when a company is good, it's humble, and it shows that it wants to work with people and towards the good of gamers tend to be a little bit more forgiving to any mishap that might happen. I'm not saying infinitely, but a bit more, just forgiving, because we would know that they're trying their best, and they're trying their best in the name of gamers, and we would support that, even if there are bugs that would be fixed later on. Now, with Ubisoft, with their absolute abhorrent behavior and abhorrent actions, there is no mercy. We will continue to highlight every mistake, every abhorrent thing, every lie, every deception, and we will bring it to light, and no amount of attempts at censoring us will work, because at the end we have all the receipts and we cannot be silenced. As it was said, we are the media now, and we are the gamers, and we are the voice, and we are the ones who are going to win this fight. And the fight, my dear friends, is good. Thank you for watching this video if you did until now. If you enjoyed this content, please click the like and subscribe button, share the video, post your comments down and let me know what you think about the situation with Ubisoft, about what we just covered today, and about anything else that you might want to talk about. I'll be happy to read each and every one of your comments. If you want to join me directly and support my career on YouTube, click the join button and become part of the DiscussThing guild. I would greatly appreciate your support. Thank you very much. My name is Helzo, I'm DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.